Do you feel that there is a lack of space in your company, especially in your stores and in your shop floor? Are you facing frequent quality problems related to product mix-ups? Is your team searching for the materials and tools? If the answer to any of these questions is a yes, this video is for you. Hello and welcome to Lean Manufacturing Lessons for people who hate reading. My name is Ananth and I run a business consulting company called Hash Management Services where we work with a lot of manufacturing companies in implementing lean and supply chain solutions. We help them in improving their productivity, quality and reduce their costs. Some of our clients are JK Tires, Venus Water Heaters, Greenply Industries, Paragon Footwear, and we also work with many sectors ranging from iron and steel, leather and footwear companies, plastic manufacturing companies, electrical component manufacturers and so on. We have trained more than 5,000 people on lean and supply chain over the last 10 years. And today in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 simple steps that you can practice in your workplace that will reduce the accidents, that will improve the employee safety and morale, and that will also help you in reducing the searching and product mix-ups. Are you ready for the session? Great, so let's go to the session. But before we start the session, please download the workbook which I have linked in the description. We have added a lot of exercises and assignments at the workbook, and if you do it sincerely, at the end of the video, you will end up with a lot of action points which you can go to your shop floor and start implementing right away without any external help or consultants. Isn't that great? So let's begin the session. The concept we are going to discuss today is called 5S. 5 simple words that starts with yes and they relate to good housekeeping. 5S is a very simple concept, but it's very difficult to implement. 5S is one of the fundamental elements of lean manufacturing, and many companies which starts the lean journey, they start with 5S as the first step. And in this video, I'm not going to use the Japanese words, but I'm going to use the English words for easy understanding. So the first yes we are going to discuss today is called sort. Sorting in simple terms means segregation of items which are required and not required. Let us take an example of a particular shelf in a store. There are chances that many unwanted items may be present in that shelf. For example, there may be some old tools, some old files, jigs and fixtures which may be related to some obsolete products. All those things may be present in that particular shelf. The first step is to remove all the unwanted items from the shelf and move it to a common place. There may be some items where people may have some doubts. For example, whether we need it or not. In that case, we can use a red tag and move it to a separate red tag area so that we can take a decision later. So the first step, that is the sort, means segregation of items which are required and not required. At the end of this exercise, you should have only the items which are required for your work or in your workplace. To explain oneness in very simple terms, we have created a small demonstration. Imagine this is your stores and you have a lot of wanted and unwanted items present in the stores. Now if you want to take 2 red squares and 3 green triangles, how much time it takes for us? It takes us more than 10 seconds to fetch 2 red squares and 3 green triangles, because there are a lot of unwanted items present in the stores and it creates a lot of confusion and people are searching for materials. And now we have to remove all the unwanted items. The unwanted items present in the stores are the blocks, the numbers, the gears, all those things which are not required, they have to be removed from the stores. The only materials which we require in the stores are the colored shapes, This is a small example demonstrating oneness or sorting in your workplace. Are you clear with sort? Now go to your workbook, open page number 3, and there is an exercise where you can write down all the unwanted items present in your workplace. It can be your workplace, it can be your stores, it can be your shop floor. List down the items which are not required by you and create a list. You can take 30 seconds and you can come right back after this exercise. Thank you for coming back. How many points you have written in your workbook? At least 5? Great job. Thank you. So now let us move to the second yes, that is set in order. Set in order means arranging the items according to our use. It may be based on the frequency of usage or it may be based on the type of material. For example, heavy items can go to the bottom shelf. There may be some items which go in pairs. For example, paints and paint brushes, they normally go together, so they can be stored in a specific location. In set in order, we are assigning an address for each and every item, a place for everything and everything in its place. Now let's go to our imaginary stores. We have all the unwanted items which are removed from the stores, and now we have started to arrange the items based on the shape and the color. We have given each and every shape and color a specific location, and this is called set in order, a place for everything and everything in its place. Are you clear with your second S, that is set in order? Now go to your workbook, page number 4, and list down the ways by which you can arrange the materials according to your requirement. It can be based on fast moving, slow moving, etc., or it can be based on the type of material. You can also list down the shelves or racks which are required for you. Thank you for coming back on time. And how many points you have listed for set in order? At least 5? Great job. So now we'll move to the third S, that is shine. So far we have discussed the first S, that is sort, and the second one, that is set in order. Imagine we do the sorting and set in order and we leave the place and come back after 10 days. What will we find there? We'll find a lot of dust, right? So the third S is about cleaning the workplace. This cleaning should happen every day, and it's the employee's responsibility to clean their workplace. This cleaning should happen every day at the start of the shift or at the end of the shift. Many companies, they practice at both times, that is at the starting of the shift and at the end of the shift. There are some missions or area where the scraps or the dust is created regularly. For example, it may be a lathe machine where the chips or the scraps fall down regularly. Those areas we need to clean more frequently, and like what I said earlier, it's the employee's job to remove the scrap or the dust in that workplace. And it's a great idea to include the autonomous maintenance in the shine, because whenever the employees are cleaning the machine, they would be also able to find out the oil leakages or some noise or vibration, whatever abnormalities, they would be able to find out during their cleaning. And it's a good idea to fix the abnormalities at that time rather than allowing the machine to go for a breakdown. Create a cleaning checklist and display in each and every area. It is the employee's responsibility to clean the area and fill the checklist. Are you clear on the third S, that is shine? Now go back to your workbook and in page number 5, list down the activities which you can do to implement shine in your workplace. It can be preparing a checklist, it can be including autonomous maintenance in your missions. What are the things you can do to make your employees start this third S in your work area? Take 30 seconds for this exercise and come right back. Thank you for coming back. How many points you have written for shine? At least 5 points? Great job. So let's move on to the fourth S, that is standardization. This is the most important step in 5S, standardization, because we have completed the 3 S's, that is sort, set in order and shine. And if we don't standardize, after a few weeks, you'll have to start with 1S all over again. Things will go back to the previous stage. Standardization in simple terms means, how can I make sure my improvements, whatever we have done so far, that is sorting, set in order and shine, easily understandable to other people, so that everybody in the organization can follow this without any confusion. We can use very simple techniques for standardization. Things like using visual indicators like color coding, like numbering systems, like labeling, by using shadow boards, by using a lot of visual indicators. For example, green color for good, red color for rejected items or bad. So these are some of the simple things which we can use in our workplace to implement standardization. Things like before after pictures can be a good idea. Using visual SOPs, how can I make sure that just by looking at the SOP, one can easily understand the job requirements. So these are all some of the standardization activities which we can do to prevent the organization from going back to the previous stages. So let's go to our imaginary stores. We have created the layout in such a way that the rows depict the color of the material, and in columns we have the shapes of the material. Let us see how much time it takes for us to pick 2 red squares and 3 green triangles. So it hardly takes 2 to 3 seconds, right? So this is called standardization. By standardization, we'll be able to easily identify the materials, and we can also easily put them back in the same location without any confusion. Now go to your workbook, open page number 6 and write down what are the things you can do in your workplace to implement standardization. It can be color coding, it can be a numbering system, it can be a before after pictures, we call it as a 1-point lesson. It can be creating visual SOPs. Note down the activities list and we'll meet after this 30 seconds. Thank you for coming back. How many points you have listed for standardization? At least 5? Great job. So now we are going to the last step in 5S, that's called sustain. How can I make sure that all these improvements we have done so far is sustained in the organization? How can I make sure that 5S becomes a part of the culture of the company? How can we create the engagement by the employees and everybody should feel proud to be a part of this 5S? We can sustain 5S in your organization through regular audits, internal competition between the teams. We can have a lot of rewards and recognition programs for people. We can have a slogan competition. We can do many activities to sustain 5S in your organization. 5S should be a part of every employee's job description and everybody should feel proud to take part in 5S or contribute for 5S. Now go to your workbook, page number 7, and write down the activities which you can implement to sustain 5S in your company. It can be internal competitions, it can be a reward and recognition program, it can be a suggestion scheme, it can be a employee engagement activity where you are bringing in 5S. So write down these activities in your workbook and we'll meet after 30 seconds. Thank you for coming back. How many points you have listed for sustain in the workbook? At least 5? Great job. So far we have seen the 5 steps or the 5S in detail, and you have learned a lot about 5S in this video, and more importantly, you have at least 25 points. That is from sort till sustain. You should have at least 25 points in your workbook. How many? 25 points in your workbook that you can go to your company and start implementing. If you are a CEO or MD or part of senior management, now you have the 25 activities and you can assign a person responsible for each and every activity and give them a specific timeline for implementation. All you need to do is just follow these 25 activities and you will be able to implement 5S in your company. From our experience, you should not take more than 6 months for implementing 5S in your company. If you need help, please feel free to contact us. We would be able to work with you in implementing 5S across your company. We have a unique methodology where we involve the teams. We create a culture that starts implementing all these initiatives on their own. At the end of the day, it's all the people who are going to sustain the whole initiative. And we can help you in implementing 5S and reduce this searching time and reduce product mix-ups and create more space in your company. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sure that you loved this video, and you can also share this video with your family and friends or relatives who are working in a manufacturing company or who are running an organization, and you feel that it will be useful for them as well. They are going to thank you for that. Be a part of our community by clicking the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video, and this is Ananth signing off. Bye.